Once upon a time, in the little town of Hamlin, in the province of Hanover, in Germany, the citizens all lived happily. And that's why you would never have heard anything about them if it weren't for this shocking story I'm going to tell you. Rats in the cellars of Hamlin, just as there are everywhere else, and at that time they were not too nasty, and the cats of the town were able to keep them in order without too much trouble. But in the spring of the year I'm talking about, people began to notice that not only were there more rats than usual, but that they were getting bigger and stronger, so that the cats were no longer masters of the situation. The citizens were not too unhappy at first, because they expected things would soon sort themselves out. But instead of this, matters got worse, until the townspeople didn't dare to go to bed without being guarded by an armed servant. So scared were they of waking up half-eaten by the terrible rodents. The town council discussed the matter ceaselessly.
This year I won't have a single ear of corn. My wheat has been eaten down to the roots.
Don't count on my stocks. They have cleared them right out.
Last night I found they'd made their nests in the soup tureen. They began by drinking the soup, of course.
At our house there was a complete family in my hat this morning. I didn't dare to touch it, and I came here this morning bareheaded. I shall almost certainly get a chill.
Mr. Mayor, unless you take suitable measures, the whole town will die of starvation and cold.
But what do you want me to do? I'm as desperate as you are, even though I'm your mayor. Already they've eaten everything in my farmyard. My cats too, and now my dog, a Great Dane, that was never afraid of anything. At this very moment, they're attacking a thatch in my house. And when they've eaten me up too, you will be without a mayor, and you will have to take suitable measures by yourselves.
So their discussions went round and round in circles. They tried everything they could think of. The rats swallowed all the poison put down for them, but it did them not the slightest harm. And they destroyed the traps with their teeth. It was rumored that they had been attacking horses and even little girls. This explains why, when the Pied Piper presented himself to the town council, he was immediately admitted, and his words were keenly listened to.
Gentlemen, I can rid you of your rats this very evening.
No, easy to say, Mr. Mountebank, but it seems to me it will be more difficult to carry it out.
Don't call me Mountebank, your worship. It is true I wear a pointed hat and my dress is in many colours like harlequins. Professionally, I am a flute player, and this is what can help you. Thanks to a special gift I have, I'm able to charm all sorts of animals. This pink diamond is a present from the Emperor of China, in gratitude for relieving his empire of a dreadful plague of toads. This golden watch, encrusted with emeralds, came from the King of Sicily for disposing of legions of lizards that infested his kingdom. Now, would you like me to take your rats in hand?
How will you set about it?
That is my secret. Just tell me how much you will pay me.
50,000 crowns, if you succeed.
I shall succeed. You need have no doubt about that. But 50,000 crowns, that's too much just for a little bit of fluting. My price is 1,000 crowns. No more. No less.
To the townsfolk of Hamlin, This offer was very interesting. The rats had already cost them many hundred times more. So they accepted eagerly, promising to pay the 1,000 crowns within 24 hours if the rats really disappeared. That evening, they prepared for bed more hopefully than they had been able to for weeks. The following day, at dawn, the Pied Piper stood in the marketplace. He put his flute to his lips, and soon hundreds, thousands, and it seemed millions of rats were leaving the houses, the sheds, the trees, the drains, to assemble all round him. There were black ones, grey ones, fawn ones, fat ones, thin ones, an absolute ocean of rats filling the marketplace. Still playing his flute, the Pied Piper set off towards the south gate of the town, and all the rats followed him silently, as in a procession. The postman looked on confused. The milk boy and several other inhabitants of the town were quite unnerved by this amazing sight. The Pied Piper went as far as the edge of the river. The rats did not stop when he did. But went on into the water. In less than an hour, they were all drowned. By midday, it became clear that not a single rat remained in Hamlin. Then the Pied Piper presented himself to the town council.
I believe, gentlemen, the job has been well done, and you have no complaints.
My friend, a truly amazing thing happened this morning, and because it happened at the same time as your visit to our town, we regard you most sympathetically, believe me. Indeed, we are thinking very seriously of making you an honourable citizen of Hamlin.
I do not wish to offend you in any way, Your Worship, but I can do nothing with either your sympathetic feelings or your honourable citizenship. All I want from you is to pay over to me the 1,000 crowns you promised in exchange for the service I have rendered you.
Service? What service? Our rats committed suicide. Everyone saw it. Your present meant nothing at all. And even if it did, you must admit that a little bit of fluting is not worth 1,000 crowns. Come now, we won't bear you a grudge. No, here's 100 crowns for your journey, and have a drink with us before you go.
Gentlemen, be careful. For those who mock me, I have a tune on my flute that doesn't cost anything. It will be better for you never to hear it.
What's this? A ragamuffin? A musician? Who cannot even afford to get a suit of clothes all in the same material? Go to the devil, you mountebank! And may you burst while playing that trumpet of yours, or whatever it is.
The Pied Piper went out without saying a word. and the town council was very pleased with its mayor.
You put him in his place properly, Your Worship.
Your Worship, you were magnificent in your authority.
I shall vote for you next time, Your Worship. It's a promise.
The very next day at dawn, the Pied Piper was back again in the middle of the marketplace. He put his flute to his lips, and all the children of the town began to leave their homes to gather round him. All of them came, big ones and small ones, fat and thin, blondes, brunettes, redheads, making an ocean of heads in the marketplace. Still playing his flute, the Pied Piper made his way towards the northern gate of the town. All the children followed him in a joyful procession and watched by their petrified parents. When he got to the mountainside, the Pied Piper stopped. A big rock opened up, revealing a cave in the mountainside, and into this the children went, right to the last one, and then the mountain closed up again. Since that day, neither the children nor the Pied Piper were ever seen in the good city of Hamlin. The mayor, understandably, was dismissed. He was also driven out of the town. But this did not bring the children back. And as for the town council, it spent many hours discussing the payment of debts and the keeping of promises. In a faraway land, a soldier came tramping down the road. He was returning from the wars, marching briskly and whistling. Suddenly he let out a cry of surprise. An old witch had appeared in front of him. Raising a bony old hand, she said,
"Brave soldier, what has all your courage done for you? You're the poorest man in the land. But if you listen to me carefully, I'll make you rich."
Rich? What must I do then?
You see that oak tree over there? It's hollow, and underneath it are 3 large rooms. I want you to go down to them.
But how shall I get out?
Like this. Tie this rope around your waist. You can then let yourself down to the bottom, and I can bring you up again by pulling on the rope.
And what is there in these 3 rooms?
In the first, you will find a large chest, and sitting on it, a dog with eyes as big as saucers. Pick him up and put him on this checked apron of mine. Then open the chest. It's full of pennies. Take as many as you want. In the second room, you will find another chest, and sitting on it, a dog with eyes as big as mill wheels. Pick him up also, and put him on my checked apron. Then you can open the chest, which is filled with silver. Take all you want. In the third room, there is yet another chest, and the eyes of the dog on that one are as big as towers. Put him on my apron, and from that chest take all the gold you want.
And what do you want for yourself, old witch?
Only an old tinder box that my grandmother left in the tree the last time she was down there. find it and bring it to me. I want it very much. Fair, isn't it? The money for you, the tinderbox for me.
The soldier tied the rope round his waist, took hold of the checked apron the witch gave him, and lowered himself into the hollow tree. He found the first room, and sitting on a chest was an enormous dog with eyes as big as saucers, and who would have frightened anyone but this brave soldier.
You can't frighten me. I've been to the wars, you know.
He took hold of the dog, put him on the apron, opened the chest, and saw that it really was filled with pennies. The soldier filled his pockets, then his boots, and lastly his helmet. Then he closed the chest, put the dog back on it, and went into the second room. There he saw, sitting on another chest, another dog, even more enormous than the first, and with eyes as big as mill wheels. But he took hold of him, put him on the apron, and opened the chest.
Silver coins. Hundreds and thousands of silver coins. How silly of me to grab all those pennies.
He threw all the pennies on the floor, and instead filled his pockets, his boots, and helmet with the silver. Then he closed the chest, put the dog back on it, and made his way into the third room. The dog in this room had eyes as big as towers, and he was growling.
There's a good dog now.
He put the dog on the witch's apron and opened up the chest, which was full of gold coins. So, throwing away all the silver money, he filled up his pockets, his boots, and his helmet with gold. Then he closed the chest, put the dog back, and it was at this moment he noticed lying on the floor an old tinderbox.
Well, there it is. I nearly forgot it.
Going back to the first room, he shouted up,
"I've got your tinderbox, old witch! Now pull up the road!"
The soldier had so much money on him that the weight of it was tearing his clothes. He was terribly heavy, and the old woman had to pull so hard to get him out of the tree that when she did so at last, she fell down dead. The effort had killed her.
Poor old lady. What bad luck. And now here I am with a tinderbox as well. I'll keep it, in memory of you, old lady. And thank you just the same for all this gold.
he took to the road again. At the first town he came to, he bought himself some fine suits. Then he put up at the best hotel he could find, and had his meals at the finest inns. And because he had plenty of money, he soon had plenty of friends. One day, one of these friends said to him,
"Did you know that the king's daughter is the fairest in the land?"
Then why is she never to be seen?
An astrologer once predicted to the king that the man she would marry would be an ordinary soldier. So that this shall never happen, the king has locked up his daughter in the tower of his castle and never lets her out.
It was not long before the soldier had spent all his money, and then he had to go and live in an attic. His fine clothes became shabby, losing all their elegance, and of course, all his friends were gone.
If ever I should be rich again, I'd take more care of my money. What a fool I've been. Now I can't even afford to buy a box of matches to light my pipe. But just a moment. Of course. I've still this tinderbox I got from the old woman.
He took the tinderbox from his pocket and struck it. And suddenly, there stood before him the dog with eyes as big as saucers. The dog said,
What does my master require?
What do I require? Well, let me see. Something to eat, something to drink, some clean clothes. That's all for the moment.
The dog disappeared. In the twinkling of an eye, he was back, holding in his mouth a basket of food. While the soldier was eating, the dog disappeared again. And when he returned this time, he was carrying clothes fit for a lord.
The old woman was right. This tinderbox is worth more than all the money in the world.
Thinking about this, he soon realized that when he struck the tinderbox once, there was the dog with eyes as big as saucers. When he struck it twice, there was the dog with eyes as big as mill wheels. And when he struck it 3 times, there was the dog with eyes as big as towers. And no matter what the soldier wanted, one of the dogs always brought it to him in the twinkling of an eye. He returned to the best hotel and again had meals in the best inns. And because he appeared to be so rich, he once more had plenty of friends. One day, he said to one of his dogs,
I should like to see the king's daughter, and if she is as beautiful as they say, I shall marry her.
In no time at all, the dog returned, carrying on his back a sleeping princess. But one of the maids of honor, who had been looking after her, had tied round the princess's neck a little bag filled with flour. She had also made a small hole in it, so that the flour trickled out. By following the trail left by the flour in the streets, the royal guards found the soldier at his fine hotel. They seized him and carried him off to prison, where they prepared to hang him. Just as they were about to put the rope around his neck, the soldier appealed to the king.
Before I die, noble sire, allow me to have one last smoke on my pipe. Just one pipe, sire. It will not take very long.
The king could hardly refuse so small a request. The soldier struck his tinderbox once, twice, then 3 times. Immediately there appeared the 3 dogs, the one with the eyes as big as saucers, the one with eyes as big as mill wheels, and the one with eyes as big as towers. They carried off the king and the queen and the maid of honor. And so it is said they have never been seen again since. As for the soldier, he married the princess and became king instead of her father. At the coronation festivities, the 3 dogs frolicked joyfully around the royal coach.